Welcome to this session on JMeter. This is the 17th session and today we are going to look at how to we parameterize an FTP test, or in other words, what we are doing here is we want to upload files with different names to an FTP server, and how exactly we do that we are going to look into this session. So there was an earlier session on JMeter Beginner tutorial on how to test FTP upload and download. And in this session, we had created a FTP test plan with a FTP get and an FTP put request. And we are going to use the same test plan in this session. So in case you have not seen the earlier video, please go and look at this particular session because the current session is going to be a continuation from there. So let us begin, and this was the test plan that we created in our earlier session, and we have a FTP get request. So we have a FTP server and we have given the username and password, and we are getting a file from the remote FTP to our local, and then we have a FTP put request where we are transferring a file from our local system to an FTP location. Okay, now when we get a file from the FTP to our local, we have full control because here we can replace our file on the local system, but in case of put we do not have complete control on the FTP server. So it happens that if you run this request again the second time, this file will be considered as a duplicate and the upload will not happen. Okay, so let us see this in action once, and let me just give some file name and let me run this. So we have an FTP get and an FTP put. So our FTP get request is successful and our FTP put is also successful. Okay, now the next time I will run the same request, our FTP get will pass but FTP put will fail. Let me run it again. FTP get passed, but FTP put failed this time because it could not create the file, and the reason is because we are using the same file name to put on the FTP server and we cannot do that, and that is why our request failed. So if you want to run this with multiple users or with multiple loops and iterations, you cannot do it. For FTP put we won't be able to do this. Okay, so how to solve this issue? So we can use parameterization. Okay, and let us begin. So step one will be, we will go to thread group and let us add a CSV dataset config. Okay, so we have to add this test element. Okay, now here we have to get data from a CSV file. So let us create a CSV file. So step 2 will be create a CSV file and provide its location in this particular element. Okay, so I will create a CSV file and I already have a ftp1.csv file created. Let me open this file. Okay, so what I have done here is I have taken a header as name and I have given some values here. Okay, so let me give some unique values. Let me give readme 1 to 1, readme 131, and readme 141. Okay, now we have given some different values and we want to use values from our CSV file into our test plan as the names of the file. So what I'm going to do is, first of all I have to provide the location of my CSV file here. So the location here is this one, I'll just write it here, ftp1.csv. Okay, and now I have to go to my FTP request put, and instead of this file name which is hard coded, I have to I have to take the name from my CSV file. So what I will do is I will say dollar curly brace start and the name that we have given into our CSV file, which is NAME. Okay, this is what we have given in our CSV file, right? Okay, so this is what we will give here. Okay, so that it will take it from the file, and we will save and close the file. Okay, and now let us run this. I will clear the earlier results. Let me say this step 3 is parameterize FTP put request to take value from CSV file, and then step 4 is we have to run and validate our request. Okay, so I'm running it. FTP get passed and we have not done any change there, and FTP put also passed. Okay, so that means our test case is working correctly and it is taking the name from our CSV file. Okay, but you see we had three values in our CSV file, right? Let me open it again. We had three values. Okay, but our test ran only for a single time. We had only one iteration, right? So let me increase the iterations to 3, and now let us run it again. Okay, now see, this time the very first FTP request put should fail because we have already done one iteration we have already run the earlier time, right? So the very first value is already taken and we already have a file name present at the FTP server location. So our first iteration will fail in case of FTP put, but the other two should pass. So let me just start it. So first FTP get got passed, second FTP put got failed. Now the subsequent FTP put should pass. Yes, it got passed. And the third one, and yes, again it got passed, right? So now we can use our FTP put request with as many iteration as we want to, right? And this is how we parameterize our FTP test. Hope you like it. Thank you.